this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder that Capital One Bank Guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also tell you about how Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bankguy. Capital One N.A., member FDIC.
Hey folks, owning a home means one thing. Something's gonna break. AC, plumbing, fridge, and it's never convenient or cheap. That's where American Home Shield comes in. An AHS Home warranty can help protect your wallet from pricey breakdowns on even your oldest appliances and systems. And if they can't repair the covered item, they'll replace it. So check out American Home Shield and get 20% off any plan at ahs.com/SYSK and see promo details. See ahs.com/contracts for coverage details, including service fees, limitations, and exclusions. American Home Shield. Don't worry. Be warranty.
Hi there, it's me, Josh, and for SYSK Selects this week, I've chosen what was the most peaceful time in history, which originally came out in March 2013. There's a big discussion about Steven Pinker, and if this kind of thing floats your boat, check out Reality Denial, Steven Pinker's Apologetics for Western Imperial Violence, which was a Public Intellectuals Project article. Makes kind of a good companion piece to this episode. At any rate, enjoy it. It's a good one.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hi, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark. There's Charles W. Chuck Bryant. We're being very professional. And this is Stuff You Should Know.
Are we?
I just decided.
You know, all we're saying, Josh, is give peace a chance.
Who says that?
Me and John Lennon.
Nice.
And you know, the follow-up, I think, to that line was, if it doesn't work out, kill someone. But then Yoko said, you should take that part out.
Thank God for Yoko.
Yeah, that's what I always say.
Well, I think that was a nice little intro, Chuck.
I just made it up.
That was off the cuff?
Clearly on the fly.
Have you ever heard of the group Vision of Humanity?
I have.
I wonder where groups like this get their cash, because this is kind of, I mean, they make a social statement, but how are they selling ads on their annual report? What's going on here?
I don't know. They may be an NGO.
I guess. I mean, I'm sure they are.
I think it's valuable research.
I agree, because it brings into focus, like, you know, what we're going toward. I should say what they do is they use 23 different indicators and crunch some numbers from all over the world to determine what is the most peaceful countries on Earth.
Yeah.
And it's fairly predictable, the top and the bottom.
Sort of.
What were you surprised by? Did you look at 2012's?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll go ahead and go over the top and bottom 10. And then we'll talk about surprises.
Okay.
How does that sound?
It sounds delicious.
The number one most peaceful country was Iceland.
Yeah.
And then you got Denmark, New Zealand, Canada, Japan, Austria, Ireland, Slovenia, Finland, and Switzerland are the top 10 most peaceful countries.
I could have guessed all those. Maybe not Austria.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, they're like super chill. Very peaceful people.
Gotcha.
Anything in Western Europe basically is very peaceful these days.
Yeah, I mean, Western Europe typically is very peaceful, but
it's the most peaceful region according to this list in the world.
I'm just a little out of okay.
But
I feel like
I found that ironic,
to be
though.
surprised by one.
Okay,
so I picked Austria.
All right, I was surprised by. I'll go with Slovenia.
Yeah, I don't know much about Slovenia.
That's why I'm surprised.
Yeah.
So the worst is Somalia, and then Afghanistan,
right?
Sudan, Iraq, Republic of Congo.
Here's where I was surprised.
Russia, I was too.
Russia is just slightly better than Congo as far as peaceful countries go.
Yeah, and slightly worse than North Korea, then the Central African Republic, and then Israel, and then Pakistan is the 10th worst.
I was also surprised by Israel, and then once I thought about it, I was like, man, that really stinks.
Yeah, I was surprised by Russia.
Yeah, I was too.
And this one tends to fluctuate a little bit more depending on these little civil wars that crop up in some of these countries. Because like a place like Syria had the biggest fall. They fell 30 places in a year. And then Sri Lanka rose 30 places because their civil war ended.
Right.
So.
Oh, yeah, man. If you want to, like, change big time in this rating, start or finish a civil war. That's 30 points right there, one way or the other. So, yeah, I think the United States tends to rank pretty much somewhere in the middle, usually in about the 80s.
Yeah, we were 88. And the UK was 29, just to, that's another notable.
That is very notable.
Country, or region.
And you could probably guess one of the things that, one of the reasons why the UK is higher than the United States is because I think one of the indicators has to do with access to guns, aka ease of access to weapons of minor destruction.
Yeah.
The UK's access to guns is far more restricted. Number of jailed inmates per 100,000 people. Military capability. Hey, U.S. has got that in aces.
Yeah, well, so does England, though.
A potential for terrorist acts.
Yeah.
I take that to mean like maybe being a target for it.
That's what I took it as.
Yeah.
And then some of the other indicators they use are number of homicides per 100,000 people, how you get along with your neighbors country-wise.
Right.
Number of deaths from organized conflict, respect for human rights, and number of heavy weapons. So not just guns and things, but Scud missiles and the like, bunker busters.
That's the Global Peace Index. And again, it's Vision of Humanity and NGO's annual data that they crunch together, which is pretty sweet. And there's just like a little cheat sheet that we were working off of, but there's a whole publication that really goes into depth if you're interested. And they pretty much have a lock on what the most peaceful country in the world is.
Yeah.
But the question still remains, what is the most peaceful time in history? A lot of people ask that.
Yeah.
And there's been several candidates. Probably the most readily identified is the Pax Romana.
Yeah.
Which means the Roman peace.
This gets a lot of press, at least.
Yeah. Thanks to an 18th century historian named Edward Gibbon, who wrote The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire. Pretty light reading.
Yeah, I'm sure.
And Gibbon was the first to really say, hey, there's this thing called the Pax Romana, or he's the first one to popularly write about it and actually try to date this period. It was about 150 years. And it started, 180 years, I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, they rounded up to 200.
Yeah, 200 years. Thanks, man.
He puts it at 27 BC as the beginning when Octavian, who is Gaius Julius Caesar Augustus, the great-nephew of the stabbed one, Julius Caesar.
Right.
And he was like, you know what? I'm in office now, and I know what all we've always done is just conquer, and spread the empire. We got enough junk now. Can we work on what we have and just like quit conquering and work on our infrastructure and just being more peaceful and getting along within our own land bounds.
Right, making our people happy.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of people, let's start focusing on them. And
Exactly.
It actually had a really big impact. The popular rebellions dropped off pretty quickly
Didn't
in the
vanish.
Roman Empire. No.
They point out.
But I get the impression that they were a lot more frequent and widespread than they were during the Pax Romana.
Yeah.
There are these things called the Gates of Janus, and they were built by the second emperor of Rome. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I looked it up too. I can't remember.
He built these things and left them open, and while they were open, somebody noticed like Rome was at peace. And then another emperor later on closed them, and Rome was at war. And these gates would stay open or closed for hundreds of years at a stretch, mostly open for hundreds of years at a stretch.
Because they were always at war.
Yeah, and they became the symbolic, I guess, kind of indicator of how Rome was doing right then as far as war and peace went.
Yeah.
And so during the Pax Romana, the gates of Janus were ceremonially closed and stayed closed for a couple hundred years, which is a big deal.
Yeah, it was opposite of how I thought it would be. I thought you would close them during times of war. But
I couldn't get to the bottom of
I think
what
it's more
it really
symbolic.
meant. It was definitely symbolic, but is it symbolic of Rome had troops out there that they needed to leave the gates open for?
Maybe. That would make
Or
sense.
if the gates were closed, Rome was focusing inward rather than outward.
See, you thought much more about it. I just thought, if you're a war man, you better close the gates.
Right.
You know?
Guys could come in.
Exactly.
There was also something called the Arapacis, the altar of peace, that was built during this time as well.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing came to an end thanks to a guy named Commodus.
Yeah, who was more into conquering.
Yeah, he was Marcus Aurelius' son. And Marcus Aurelius was a really great general. We should say, during this time, during the Pax Romana, like you said, there were still some popular rebellions.
Yeah.
There was one in Hispania, which is now modern-day Spain and Portugal. There's a border between the Roman Empire and Germania, which is modern-day Germania. And then also during the Pax Romana, Rome invaded England and subjugated it. So depending on who you were, the Pax Romana could have been very violent. You may have come to a violent end. But if you look at the Roman Empire as a whole,
Yeah.
this was a very peaceful time, and Rome was pretty much running the world at the time. So this, you could say, was the most peaceful time in world history.
I think compared to how Rome usually was, it was pretty peaceful.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all, like you said, daisies and honey bees.
Did you know?
I had no idea where I was going.
That was good where you ended up.
Daisies
though.
and honeybees.
Yeah.
Hey everybody, we're here to talk to you about Wayfair, who believes that spaces should be functional, they should be comfortable, they should be well designed, and they can be well designed by you with their help.
Your updated space should feel more comfortable, inviting, and practical for everyday use. And we're talking about outdoor seating. We're talking about grills. We're talking about major appliances. If you need storage solutions, Wayfair can help you out. Patio lighting, rugs, decor. It is your one-stop shop for home.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting nice out, so it's time to think about living outdoors for the next few months. And Wayfair knows that outdoor furniture, it's heavy, it's intimidating to assemble. So Wayfair has stepped in and said, we're going to handle the hard part so you don't have to.
That's right. You can shop Wayfair Verified, your shortcut to the good stuff. And that means their team of product specialists are going to vet everything by hand using a 10-point inspection, testing things like, quality materials, functionality, and features, and even how long it takes to build that piece of furniture. And the overall experience save time, reduce hassle, and improved convenience.
Patio season is here, and these deals won't last. So head to wayfair.com right now to get your outdoor space ready for way less. That's WAYFAIR.com.
Wayfair, every style, every home.
You might know Michelin for its tires, or maybe even its stars, but there's so much more to the story. Michelin isn't just a tire company, it's an innovation company. From connected mobility solutions to high-tech materials, innovation fuels everything Michelin does.
That's right. And in 2025, Michelin was recognized as a most innovative company in automotive by Fast Company. It's all part of a big picture vision Michelin calls Michelin in Motion, putting a vision of innovation at the heart of everything it does.
Yeah, and get this, Michelin's going way beyond tires. Michelin isn't just making better tires, they're helping build a better future. Why this innovation matters? Well, Michelin is taking on one of the toughest mobility challenges out there, space. Michelin is developing an airless wheel for lunar exploration.
Wow.
The Michelin Lunar Airless Wheel was named Concept of the Year, recognizing Michelin's technological expertise in the most extreme environments at the 2026 Tire Technology Expo.
That's right, and you can learn more at www.michelinman.com/y-Michelin/innovation.
Did you know a vomitorium?
Yeah.
That's a popular misconception.
Oh, really? Is that not true?
No, Romans actually didn't really use feathers to vomit up their meals. A vomitorium was a place of ingress and egress into a forum or a coliseum or something like that.
Huh.
It's basically the place where everybody walked in. They called it the vomitorium.
So all those stories about eating to excess, binging, and purging are not true?
As far as I know, the purging part is a misconception.
Interesting.
Yeah. They definitely went to excess, especially followers of Bacchus.
Yeah, I mean, can you believe that? Like, could you imagine? I'm just going to eat so much like lamb and beef and drink mead till I can't move, and then I'll throw it all up and I'll do it all over again.
Right. And that'll honor the God that I follow, which is why I follow this God.
Have sex with like 18 people at once.
Right.
Ancient Rome, man. That place was a party.
Roddy McDowell, huh?
Yeah, and Helen Mirren, a young...
Was she in that?
Yeah, she was in it and naked.
Crazy.
Quite a bit.
I never saw it.
Caligula?
Yeah.
It's really not very good. It's long.
Plot-wise?
Well, it's just long and dull, and you expect way more than you get as far as, like, when I was a kid, Caligula was, like, the dirtiest thing ever.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And then you watch it now, and you're like, oh, God, what a bore.
Is that right?
It's like Clash of the Titans without the good fighting.
Without pants.
Yeah.
Oh, you're jaded, Bryant.
On Caligula? I am. All right, so that is the Pax Romana. We put it up for consideration, and we're striking it down.
That's the sound of it being stricken down.
Up next, we have a time that you might not think was the most peaceful, and that was the time of Genghis Khan.
What?
Genghis Khan, who we have talked about murdering, like 1 million people?
1.8 million people in an hour. We put that one to rest.
Yes, we did.
But he did. We should probably go over it real quick. The reason he was known for killing 1.8 million people in an hour is because in just one particular city, Nishapur, he had his people sack it.
Yeah.
And then he went in and said, cut everyone's head off and stack it into a giant pyramid. Everybody's. Man, woman, child, baby, dog. You got your head cut off and stacked. That was Genghis Khan's orders.
Genghis?
That's how you say it.
Okay.
I saw the thing at Fernbank. They kept saying Genghis Khan, so that's how I'm saying it.
Not Genghis?
No.
Okay.
Genghis.
Well, I'm going to go with Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan.
Genghis.
All right, so sure, there was a lot of conquering of peoples.
Yeah.
When you're bringing together the Mongol hordes, you got to do some killing. But apparently, once all the killing was accomplished, or not all of it, but enough of it, he was like, you know what? I think now we really need to, like, take care of folks.
Yeah, kind of like...
And protect people.
Kind of like when... who started the Pax Romana?
The great-nephew of...
Octavia.
Yeah, Octavius.
Octavius, yeah. It was very much like, okay, you're under our control now, which means you're now protected by our laws. Which was good for a lot of people, especially the Mongol hordes that he basically brought under his kingdom,
Shield.
I guess, kingship, whatever. And some of the innovations that Genghis Khan came up with were things like freedom of religion.
What?
Yeah. Women's rights. He devised a postal system. Not the first, but he devised a postal system.
Yeah, sort of like the Pony Express that we talked about. They had stations and horses, and they would go from station to station delivering mail.
And if you listen to the Postal Service episode, you know that is something that is intended to create culture and spread information, share information easily. Kublai Khan, 200 years after Genghis Khan, he established a system of printing presses 200 years before Gutenberg.
Subla Khan. It's pronounced Subla.
So there was a lot of really great innovations as far as like promoting individual and human rights. And they protected these things using really, really strict punishment. So much so that there's a very old legend that a woman, or saying that a woman could walk from one end of the Mongol Empire to the other, about 1 million square miles, holding a sack of gold, and be just completely left alone.
That's awesome.
It is, because there was a lot of you were going to be punished pretty severely, but a lot of people would point out. If the state doles out capital punishment or physical punishment pretty easy, pretty strictly, then can you say that's very peaceful?
Yeah, and can you say it's peaceful even though, like, millions of people potentially were killed in order to establish that huge area of land? You know?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess afterward maybe, but we're going to say no on Genghis Khan.
So no to the Pax Romana, no to Genghis Khan's Mongol Empire founded around 1200 AD. When then, Chuck?
I am going to put up a vote along with our buddy Steven Pinker that says, right now, my friend, are the most peaceful times in world history.
Man, that is crazy, Chuck, because think about it. During the 20th century, we had 2 world wars, countless civil wars.
Yeah.
We've had genocides.
Yep. Terrorism.
We've had a lot of lynchings.
Sure.
Lots of death, like violence. Like, how can you call it peaceful?
Homicide, patricide, matricide.
Yeah.
Brother and sister side.
That's a filiacide.
Is it?
I think so.
Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of killing going on, but evolutionary psychologist Steven Pinker, who I think we talked about before, haven't we? That sounded really familiar.
Yeah, we have. We talked about him in Emotion and Art. He said that music is auditory cheesecake.
That's right.
Yeah.
He said, you know what? Things seem violent now for several reasons. One reason is because of media coverage. And you hear about everything, and you're inundated with it.
Right.
So it's going to, if you watch the evening news, it's violence upon violence upon violence.
Right.
He says, if you go to the hunter-gatherer days where you think they're all just out hunting and gathering, 20 to 60% of the men died at the hands of violence.
Yeah.
Compared to 2% of men today dying at the hands of violence.
During the 20th century.
Yeah, which
Even
is...
with all of the wars, all the genocides.
A lot more people, a lot more dudes, of course. So take that into account. But compared to like the Middle Ages and times like that, much, much more peaceful and less violent today.
He makes the point that Thomas Hobbes, not Calvin Hobbes, which is what I always want to say, he was correct in his whole idea that life was brutish, nasty, and short before government. And that he points to times of like anarchy or a failed state, like in Guinea-Bissau or Somalia, where you have huge escalations of violence. And he said the rise of the state and the state monopoly on violence, which means like the state's the only one that can execute somebody, has created this way for people to get redress for wrongs against them.
Yeah, and it's stable,
go to court
at least.
And the government does it for you. You don't have to go kill that man, and then he doesn't come kill your family, and blah, 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 and back and forth. So that was one reason why we've gotten more peaceful.
He thinks technology, which makes a lot of sense, has a lot to do with it because we are connected now like we never have been in world history. And connected to other countries, and I think people, and this is me talking, I think people fear what they don't understand.
Right.
And there is a better understanding now than there ever has been.
Sure.
So there's not as much fear, and people oftentimes react from fear with violence.
Yeah, and what a guy named Peter Singer came up with is called the expanding circle. It initially started with your family, and then clans, tribes, whatever. And as we got bigger and bigger, and societies got bigger and bigger, this circle of who was okay in our book expanded more and more until it was like one culture warring with one culture.
Yeah.
But then as we came to understand other cultures a little better, that circle got bigger and bigger until now not only does it include basically all humans, but other species of animals as well. Like, they're okay. Maybe we shouldn't eat octopi.
Right.
Because they're intelligent. And we know they're intelligent because we understand them a little more. We've gotten closer to them. We've been hugged by them.
That's a good point.
Yep.
And he goes on, Pinker does, to talk about healthcare. It's sort of along those same lines. Not only are we better at saving people, but it also has given us more value about saving people, and just the notion of saving human lives through medicine has increased or decreased violence. He thinks.
That one kind of like didn't quite click with me. It seems
not
like
super for me either.
If you're going to die at 30 or 35, that would make life, even with no chance of reviving you, if like you like fell in a puddle.
Yeah.
That would make life more valuable in that sense. Whereas like if people are walking around like, well, a doctor could probably fix him if I hit him over the head with this lead pipe. It might make people a little more prone to use a lead pipe on somebody.
I don't know that lead pipe hitters think about that stuff.
Well, but think about this. Like, let's say we got to the point where you had a 99% chance of being fully revived and restored within a couple of days after being shot.
Yeah.
That medicine advances to that point.
I'd be shooting people all over the place.
Exactly. So that's my point.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like that seems counterintuitive to me, and I've been trying to wrap my mind around it. And I'm also really worried that I've just given myself away as like a complete sociopath somehow
No.
by not understanding that.
No, that one didn't hit us home as much with me either.
I also want to say too, with the government monopoly on violence. Yes, the government used to have a monopoly on violence in other ages as well.
Yeah.
But that wasn't, that didn't have the companion of protecting individual and human rights like we have today.
Right.
To where it's not just like, yeah, kill them for, next to nothing.
Yeah.
Like Pinker points out that during the Middle Ages when, violence peaked by his estimation, stuff that a government would fine someone for today.
Yeah.
You would be killed for.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right.
He also makes some good points about things like the United Nations, like the cooperation between countries these days is unparalleled.
Mm-hmm.
The EU, sharing responsibility for international conflicts, like teaming up with other countries to go, peacekeep, I guess.
Yeah.
Or conquer, depending on which way you want to look at it. Common currency, I guess it was a lot more violent back in the day when you had everyone trading different things.
Sure. Sure.
Common currency would sort of bind people together.
Yeah, at the very least, differing currencies maybe promote a sense of otherness too,
Yeah.
In-group, out-group stuff. I took an anthropology class once. I don't know if I've talked about it before. It was the first one I ever took. It was a great class. And the instructor challenged the class to go a full day without using any in-group or out-group language. Like us, them, we, they.
Wow, I bet that's tough.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
You can't do it. But just paying attention to it, trying just for a day, really kind of brings out how much you see other people and other groups as different and other.
Right.
And that's not necessarily a good thing.
No, I would like to strive to be more open-minded and inclusive like that.
I would say try that then.
Yeah, I think everyone should though.
I agree.
You got anything else?
No, there's a pretty cool thing called Steven Pinker on the Decline of Violence by Ethan Zuckerman. I can't remember the name of the site it was on, but if you search that, it'll bring it up. It's from 2007, and it sounds like Steven Pinker was like preparing his notes for Angels of Our Better Nature, that book he came out with where he argues what we just talked about. It's a pretty cool little primer, a little brief rundown of it.
Yeah, I love Pinker.
And if you want to read this article, you should. You can type in peaceful history in the search bar at howstuffworks.com and it will bring it up. And I said search bar, which means it's time for a word from our sponsor.
You might know Michelin for its tires, or maybe even its stars, but there's so much more to the story. Michelin isn't just a tire company, it's an innovation company. From connected mobility solutions to high-tech materials, innovation fuels everything Michelin does.
That's right, and in 2025, Michelin was recognized as a most innovative company in automotive by Fast Company. It's all part of a big picture vision Michelin calls Michelin in Motion, putting a vision of innovation at the heart of everything it does.
Yeah, and get this, Michelin's going way beyond tires. Michelin isn't just making better tires, they're helping build a better future. Why this innovation matters? Well, Michelin is taking on one of the toughest mobility challenges out there, space. Michelin is developing an airless wheel for lunar exploration.
Wow.
The Michelin Lunar Airless Wheel was named Concept of the Year, recognizing Michelin's technological expertise in the most extreme environments at the 2026 Tire Technology Expo.
That's right, and you can learn more at www.michelinman.com/y-Michelin/innovation. So you're considering getting a home security system, but you want something that fits your space. Well, with ADT Blue, it's easy to customize a system that's right for you and set it up yourself. Just pick the kit and monitoring system that makes sense for your home.
Yeah, well, let's say you're worried about package theft right off your front porch. The ADT Plus app can walk you through setting up a new doorbell camera kit. Once it's installed, ADT Pros can help you keep tabs on it 24/7, or you can manage it yourself from the ADT Plus app.
That's right. There are no long-term contracts, so you can change your monitoring plan whenever you want. The flexibility doesn't end there either. You can add to your system as you need with things like extra cameras or motion sensors.
Some life decisions are hard, but thanks to ADT Blue, you can get DIY trusted ADT home security in a snap. Head to ADT.com/BLU to build your system today. And to find out more about home protection, check out a new episode of Grown Up Stuff with security expert Joe Mazza out on June 9th.
It is time for listener mail.
All right, we're going to call this More on Condoms in New York, because you just can't get enough of that.
Apparently.
In one of our podcasts, we talked about the fact that you find condoms just laying around on the street in New York, and I was kind of like, where are those coming from? And we had one dude write in that worked for the ferry, I think, that all that stuff gets washed out down there.
Yeah.
And what do they call them?
Coney Island white snakes or something?
I don't think it was white.
Coney Island, whitefish?
Yeah, I think whitefish.
White snake, yeah.
So this guy, Aaron, listened to that, and he has a theory here about New Yorkers. Generally, we tend to engage in otherwise private behavior in public. For many of us, privacy is hard to come by. Remember, this was the birthplace of the tenement. The whole family is living in one room. Unfortunately, for some, this remains a reality. For most people, however, even living with one's family in separate rooms or roommates in a cramped apartment means little privacy. Going outside doesn't help. It might in the suburbs, but here in New York, there are always people walking around everywhere all the time. Once in a while, I will see if I can find a place where there's no one around and no one can see me, and it's pretty tough.
Huh.
So people adapt to this reality by blocking out reality, so to speak, pretending as if no one is around. That's why New York has a reputation for having a lot of crazy people, because a lot of us talk and sing and laugh and gesture to ourselves. I believe this goes on all across the country. It's just that everyone else does it behind closed doors. I like what he's saying here, by the way. I totally agree.
Yeah.
So while some people merely talk to themselves in public, a few people engage in more vulgar behavior, from picking one's nose all the way to having sex. Not only have I witnessed 3 separate acts of public sex in my youth, I engaged in public sex 3 times. All of these acts, witnessed and engaged in, occurred in public parks, and all except one occurred during the daytime. Personally, I remember trying to minimize the chances of being seen somewhat, but not too hard. If someone saw, they would be unlikely to A, know me or my girlfriend, or B, do anything but ignore it and keep on walking, which is the great thing about New York. You can really do anything and you'll be completely ignored, because no one wants any part of that, you know. So that is exactly what I did, guys, as a witness. I hope this helps explain why your chances of stepping on a used condom while out on a stroll is higher in New York City than anywhere else in the country. It is certainly the wrong way to dispose of condoms, to be sure. And that's because we're a bunch of self-centered, selfish people for whom littering is a way of life. Please don't judge us for our public sex. Aaron. I liked Aaron.
Thanks, Aaron. What a level-headed approach to explaining things.
Yeah, I like that
stuff.
Sort of armchair psychology about stuff like that.
Yeah, that was armchair Dr. Ruthin.
Yeah.
You know? That's all I got about that one.
Good for you, Aaron.
If you want to explain something that we've talked about and couldn't quite get to the bottom to, we're always happy to cross all of our T's and dot our I's, if you will. You can tweet to us at SYSK Podcast. You can join us on Facebook.com/StuffYouShouldKnow. And you can send us an email to StuffPodcast@Discovery.com. But wait, you should first also join us on our website. Our website, Chuck.
Yeah, lots of cool stuff there.
It's called StuffYouShouldKnow.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit HowStuffWorks.com.
You know, you could be adored by everyone and still completely ignored by your cat. Trust me, I know. But if you feed your cat Sheba, you can go from being ignored to truly adored in 12 days, guaranteed, or your money back. Sheba has a full menu of products, appetizers, entrees, treats, even a kitten's menu. It's so cute, so Sheba has a product for even the pickiest eater. Like Sheba Puree, it's made with bone broth, their chef-inspired flavors. It's got a smooth and creamy texture that cats love and contains no corn, wheat, soy, or artificial flavors. It's food that your cat's gonna love. To learn more, check out Sheba.com. That's SHEBA.com.
Introducing the all-new Mazda CX-5, featuring more connection.
Hey Google, where's the nearest Pilates class?
Safety that has your back. More discovery on the scenic routes. More passion in the details. And more control in changing weather. The all-new Mazda CX-5. More to move every side of you. See it in 5 films at MazdaUSA.com/5sides.
Google is a trademark of Google LLC. Sequences shortened and simulated.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.